So for me, it took exactly 1 year, 10 months, and 6 days to finally get this self-improvement YouTube channel monetized. Now, I have watched a lot of other YouTube videos documenting how other creators have got their channels monetized, but I've never really seen a video that talked about their specific niche because, a lot of channels will grow at extremely different rates. So in this video, I want to talk about the tips, tricks, ideas, and strategies that I've used which help me get monetized, and also talk about the things that I don't really think work. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the timeline of my YouTube channel. As my first serious video was posted on June 22nd of 2019, so just under 2 years ago. But I do think that this is definitely a more reasonable and realistic timeline in order to get monetized. Even though I've seen other channels, get there a lot faster than me. I've seen people get monetized in a year or even just like 6 months or something. But the requirements of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours is very difficult. And one of the things that I didn't really know was that those 4,000 watch hours, they need to be within a 365-day period. So if you had any views or watch hours that you got from like a year and a half ago, or even just 13 months ago, those hours would fall off of the 4,000 hour requirement. And this can be very difficult if you want to create a self-improvement channel of your own in the future. Another reason why I wanted to create this video was because I didn't really see any other creators talk about growing for their specific niche. Now, I've seen all types of videos talking about how people got their 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 watch hours, but it was never really niche specific. And I think this is a very important thing that you shouldn't overlook, because take for example a daily vlogging channel or a gaming channel.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Now, these types of channels are going to grow vastly different than like the type of thing that I'm doing, self-improvement. Because if you have a gaming channel, there's so much content that you have that you could post almost like daily or even like twice a day. And the same thing goes for vlogs. Whereas for me, it takes me so long to create a video on habit change or create a video on how to lose weight or a morning routine, because these are things you can't do overnight. And even take my first video, for example, it was a 14-week weight loss challenge that took me 4 months to document and create. Okay, so let's talk about my timeline. And as I mentioned earlier, I created my channel in June of 2019, and it took me just under 2 years to finally get monetized. But as you can see here, I didn't get my first 500 subscribers until October 15th of 2020, which was 1 year and 4 months for me to get there. And this is definitely the most difficult and hardest part of this grind, was getting those initial 500 subscribers, because it only took another 3 months to hit 1,000, which I hit on January 4th of 2021. So it took 1 year and 4 months to hit 500 subscribers, and it only took another 3 months to get the other 500. So as you can see, like the beginning part it feels like such a struggle, because you feel like no one is watching your videos, no one is subscribing to your channel. And I'm sure that everyone has gone through this at one point or another, because we all start with 0 subscribers. Once I did hit those 1,000 subscribers, I was actually still short on the 4,000 watch hours in order to get monetized. Now, I didn't hit those 4,000 watch hours until April 26th of 2021, which was 3 months after hitting the 1,000 subscribers. So if you do have a YouTube channel that you plan on monetizing in the future, you definitely should open up your Google Adsense account beforehand. Now, I did this a couple years ago, so I don't know if the process is the exact same. So the first 2 steps were already done, and I just had to go through the YouTube review process in order to get accepted to the partner program. Now, I have seen other creators say it took them 10 days, 20 days, or even a month in order to get accepted into the program. But for me, I applied on April 26th, and for whatever reason, I got an email from Google on April 28th, just 2 days later, saying that I was finally accepted into YouTube monetization, and I have joined the YouTube partner program. And on April 28th, I actually had 1,300 subscribers and I had about 4,004 watch hours. As soon as you get monetized, you're going to want to go back to all your videos and place all the ads you want, depending on the length of the video. Now before, YouTube would only allow mid-roll ads for videos that were over 10 minutes, but I think recently they changed that to 8. But if you do have a video that is like 7 minutes and 59 seconds or shorter, then you're only going to be allowed to put ads at the beginning and the end. So you are going to want to customize this for your own personal preference, because the way YouTube places ads is they automatically place them in breakpoints in the videos, and sometimes they're not always at points where you would want to put an ad. So definitely you're going to want to go back and change as many of those as you possibly can. Hopefully you don't have hundreds or thousands of videos to go through, but that is definitely one thing that you're going to want to do. So once you set everything up, you can click on the monetization tab to see how much all of your videos are making. Unfortunately, this number is always delayed by 2 days. So if you did get monetized and you wake up the next day, excited to see how much you made, unfortunately it will say 0, as it's going to take another day after that to finally update, the value for 2 days ago. And this is normal. Don't worry about that. This is just how YouTube does their AdSense. Okay, so let's get into the tips and strategies that I use to help grow my channel to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Now I want to call this the good, the bad, and the ugly, as all ideas and strategies that you can use are not equal, and there are some that do work, that I believe that work, and there are some that are a complete waste of your time. And to start off, let's go with the good, and the first thing is longer videos. Now this was something that I learned the hard way, as when I started off my YouTube channel, I was I didn't really think about the length of my video. I was just creating videos that I enjoyed, and they're around like the 4 or 5 minute mark. But what you're soon going to realize is that people won't watch all of your videos like the whole way through. They just won't. Even your friends, they might only watch like, half or like a couple minutes, and then they're going to go and do something else. And that's completely normal. You're going to see this in your analytics when it comes to the retention rate, and you can see where, people have dropped off in your video. So if you are creating 5-minute videos like me, and on average you might have like, like a 35 to 45% retention rate, that means you're only getting 2 minutes of watch time per view, and you need 4,000 watch hours, and that equates to 240,000 watch minutes. So if you are creating 5-minute videos and you're only getting like 2 minutes of watch time, that's going to take 120,000 views in order to hit those 4,000 watch hours. And again, you're going to need those 120,000 views within a 365-day period. So what I did was, instead of creating 5-minute videos, I started making videos that were like 10 or 12 minutes long. So whenever I would get like that 35 to 40% retention rate, instead of getting 2 minutes of watch time, I would get like 4 minutes of watch time or 5. And this will help greatly with your 4,000 watch hours. Now, definitely be careful with this tip, as the information that you're adding to your video to make it longer, it still needs to be valuable. It can't just be some nonsense or some fluff just to extend the video, because that's not going to help you. Because if you make a super long video and it's not useful, then people are going to click off a lot sooner than like the 30% range, and your retention rate could be even worse, which will hurt your channel in the long run. Another benefit to creating longer videos is the ability to put in mid-roll ads. Now, I don't know if this helps you out algorithmically in any way. I think that YouTube has denied this, but at the end of the day, YouTube is still a business and they want to make money, right? So if you play more ads, then their advertisers are happy, which pays YouTube more, which then pays the creators, which keeps everyone happy. And it's like a good thing to do overall. Now, I know ads can be a little bit annoying, but definitely don't feel bad if you are putting a lot of time and effort into your videos, in order to get some compensation in return. Now, the next tip is commenting on other videos. You definitely want to be careful with this one, as you don't want to be someone that's spamming other people's comment section, as this definitely won't help you at all. But what I did was I searched out for other YouTube content creators that were in my niche that I looked up to and I enjoyed their content. And what I did was I would subscribe to their channel and click the bell notification button so that I would get the notification on my phone whenever they posted a new video. And I would try to watch their entire video and leave a comment that was genuine and honest. because you don't want to leave empty comments like first or like a bunch of emojis or something, because that's not going to help you. And I always try to talk about specific things that I enjoyed in the video, or some things that I didn't like, or things that I resonated with. And you want to leave a comment that is honest and true. You don't want to just like comment some nonsense. And it wasn't until I started doing this, I noticed that I would gain like, a couple of subscribers every week just by doing this. And it's because people will gravitate towards your content because hopefully they found your comment on that channel insightful. And then maybe they're more willing to click on your channel name and see what what other videos that you have. The next is seeking out constructive feedback. This is important because you always want to find ways to better your content, as no one on YouTube is a perfect content creator. There's always something you can improve, whether it's your audio, your video, the way you talk, or the ideas that you're trying to convey. But try to find someone or some person in your inner circle that can give you some honest feedback on how you can improve. Now let's get into some tips and strategies that I think are generally bad and probably won't work. And the first is Google Ads. Now, this is something that I tried a couple months ago, as I wanted to explore what Google Ads were and what they would do. And kind of how it works is you could pick a type of keyword or demographic that you wanted to target, and then whenever someone would search for a video in YouTube, you would get like that Google ad picture at the top with like whatever thumbnail of your video is. And in a way, this is kind of good because it will increase the amount of impressions that your channel gets, which will drive more traffic to your channel. However, I think this is a bad strategy because this will decrease the overall click-through rate of whatever video that you're playing an ad on. Because when people are searching for a specific video, normally they don't want to be clicking on those ads that come up, right? And all those impressions will count. And what I noticed is whenever I ran an ad for a video that had like, I don't know, like a 7% click-through rate, all of a sudden it would drop down to like 2%. Now I was getting the views in and I was getting more watch time, but I felt like it wasn't worth spending money on Google Ads in order to advertise your channel. Even though you could spend as little as 1 cent per view, which is pretty much like nothing. But I think the way that it hurts your click-through rate is definitely bad for you long term. And another thing that I realized from experimentation by doing this was whenever you run a Google ad for a video and someone clicks on it, that watch time that you get is not counted towards monetization. Of course, I don't think Google ads are bad entirely, as I think some channels for sure could benefit from them if you are a channel that is selling, like a specific product or a course, or you have like a more, like a business type of thing, that I can see Google Ads being beneficial because you can get really deep and targeted with the demographics. Like say, for example, if you are, I don't know, like a camera store in a small city, you can target your Google Ads to people that live specifically in that city. So that way you can bring traffic to your store or something like that. But for me, if you're just like a regular person that wants to grow your own personal channel, I definitely think that Google Ads are not worth it. Now the next is clickbait titles and thumbnails. I think we can all agree that this is definitely a bad strategy to use, as this will negatively affect your overall audience retention rate. And this will reduce the amount of watch time you get. So I don't think this needs too much explanation, but if you are someone that's trying to create YouTube videos with a clickbait title or a thumbnail where the content doesn't deliver on the promise of that title, then that's definitely a bad strategy to implement. Okay, so let's get into the ugly. And the first is buying subscribers. Now, I don't really know anyone that's ever done this before, but I have heard people of using things like Fiverr to buy subscribers, or using some other type of third-party website or software. But this, I don't see how you could ever think this will be good, because these are just going to be like empty subscribers. These aren't going to be fans. These aren't going to be people that enjoy your content. And these aren't going to be channels that come back to watch your future videos. And this is something that YouTube and Google look down on, and it's probably grounds for termination of your account. So there are just so many negative things that come with buying subscribers that have no real benefit. So I don't know why anyone would ever want to do this, or why anyone even, would go on Fiverr to hire someone to, buy subscribers for you, because they're just like botted accounts or something. But yeah, if you are serious about growing your channel, definitely don't buy subscribers in any way, shape, or form. So Sub for Sub has been around on YouTube for as long as I can remember, and this is probably something that all beginner creators have done in one form or another. You kind of get to this point where you feel desperate for subscribers, and you feel that getting any type of subs is better than getting none. But again, this is a complete waste of your time, because by using your time to try to comment on other channels, to do Sub for Sub, or let's grow together, or try to find other small creators that should support each other, you're just wasting your time, where you could spend that time on improving your content, which could actually get you real subscribers. So definitely, again, Sub for Sub, this is a really old and dated strategy that basically never works at all. Hopefully you guys found this information helpful or inspiring to create your own YouTube channel, as I think that creating a self-development channel is one of the most fun things you can do. And it's great to just document your journey and have the ability to look back on where you came from. Like, even for me, when I look back on some of my videos that I made in 2020 or even 2019, I've progressed so much, not just as a content creator and a filmmaker, but I progressed so much as a person. And if I never started this journey of creating a self-improvement channel, then I would never get to the person that I'm at today. Again, this took me 1 year, 10 months, and 6 days to finally get monetized. And you need to be willing to accept the fact that this can be an extremely long and grueling process, as some channels, might be able to achieve it in a shorter period of time, but others might take 2 years, 3 years, or even more. Like, it takes months, it takes hours, it takes years to finally, get good at creating YouTube videos and finally achieve this goal of monetization. So if you are serious about starting a self-improvement YouTube channel and you want to get it monetized, the best advice I can give you is to take a realistic and reasonable approach to the platform. Focus on consistency, your audience, and improving the quality of your videos as the weeks go by. Just film with whatever you got, whether that's your smartphone or a GoPro or, an old camera. It doesn't really matter. But as you post and as you start your journey, just add something to the next video. Get a little bit better as time goes on. And don't just try to hit a home run and go viral. Play the long game. I know this video ended up being super rambly, as there's so much content to go over when it comes to the monetization of a YouTube channel. So if you are like me and you have started your own self-improvement journey, hopefully you can learn from some of the past mistakes that I've made when it comes to getting my channel monetized, and you can get there in a lot faster time frame than the 2 years that it took me. So if you guys did find this video helpful in any way and you would like to support the channel, please consider subscribing. And best of luck to you with your own journey. And as always, thanks for watching.